Okay, let's break it down. So it all starts with diss tracks, right?
Right.
Like going back and forth, like That
Mhm.
Family Matters, there's Meet the Grams, but the one that really seemed to set everything off was Lamar's track, Not Like
You're
Us.
not like us is different. It's just so direct, and the accusations are really serious.
Right.
I mean, Lamar basically calls Drake a pedophile in the lyrics. It's heavy stuff.
Yeah, okay. But here's the thing that I don't quite understand. Not Like Us blew up, right? Like it was a huge hit,
Yeah.
topped the charts, even got nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem kind of strange considering how controversial the whole thing was?
That's a great point, and it really gets at the complexity of the situation. I mean,
Yeah.
some people might say any publicity is good publicity,
Right.
especially in a genre like hip hop, you
Yeah.
know? But it definitely makes Drake's reaction even more interesting.
Because he didn't just come back with another diss track or
Exactly.
anything like that. Drake went full-on legal.
Yeah.
Through his company, Frozen Moments, he files these legal petitions against Universal Music Group,
Wow.
his own label, and Spotify.
That's the unusual part, right? You just don't see artists taking legal action against their own label very often.
Right.
It's like they're airing all their dirty laundry in public, but on a massive scale.
And the laundry's pretty dirty. Drake's saying that UMG purposely made Not Like Us a bigger hit than it should have been. Like, they boosted it to, I don't know, make Lamar look better and hurt Drake's reputation.
It's important to remember these are pre-action petitions. Think of it like information gathering. It's setting the stage for a potential lawsuit by laying out all of Drake's claims and trying to find evidence.
Okay, so give us, like, the Cliff's Notes version. What's Drake actually accusing them of?
Okay, so he's claiming that UMG used bots to pump up the streaming numbers,
Okay.
paid for radio play, which is basically payola, right?
Yeah.
And even fired employees who were loyal to Drake.
Wait, fired people? That seems extreme, even
Yeah.
for, really competitive industry.
Yeah, it does, and that's why these accusations are being taken so seriously. If it's true,
Right.
then it looks like the label's willing to go to crazy lengths to manipulate things and silence anyone who disagrees with them.
And Spotify's in the mix too, right?
Yeah.
Drake says they gave Not Like Us special treatment on their platform, maybe in exchange for cheaper licensing fees from UMG.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how Spotify responds to that. Their whole thing is personalized recommendations, right?
Right.
So if there's even a hint of manipulation, that could really damage people's trust.
Okay, so obviously Universal Music Group is denying everything. They're saying everything they do is ethical.
Yeah, the classic defense.
And that, ultimately fans choose what they listen to.
Right, but that raises a really interesting question.
Yeah.
How much choice do we really have as listeners? When you think about all the algorithms and targeted marketing out there, it's like,
Right.
how much agency do we actually have?
Here's the other thing that just seems so weird to me. Drake and Lamar, they're both signed to UMG labels.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
How can they favor one artist without screwing over the other? Seems like a huge conflict of interest.
It definitely is. It's one of the most interesting parts of this whole case.
Yeah.
It really shows the tension that can happen inside a label that represents multiple artists, especially when those artists are rivals.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for drama.
Okay, so we've got this feud, right? We've got these pretty serious accusations flying around.
Yeah.
But, what does it all mean for the music industry, the big picture?
Right, and this is where those expert opinions really come in. They
Yeah.
bring a whole other layer to this. Like, Rolling Stone quoted this entertainment lawyer, Kevin Bassini, and he basically said that Drake is just whining and that he doesn't think the lawsuit will go anywhere.
So if it's such a long shot, why would Drake even bother?
Well, Cassini suggested that maybe Drake's using this whole thing as leverage to get out of his contract with Universal.
Ooh, okay.
It's a power play, right?
Right.
He's trying to use these accusations to renegotiate his deal or maybe even break free from the label completely.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, what else is going on behind the scenes?
Right, there's always more to the story.
Right.
And then you've got Bob Lefsetz. He writes the Lefsetz letter, which is super influential in the industry. He's not so sure that Spotify would ever knowingly use bots to inflate streams.
Oh,
He thinks the risk is just way too high for them.
but that doesn't mean he thinks Universal is innocent, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Lefsetz thinks Universal might have been involved, and he points to their history of using, let's say, creative music promotion tactics.
Right.
What he's suggesting is that this might not just be a Drake versus Kendrick thing, but like a widespread problem in the industry.
Which brings us to the bigger question. What if Drake's right? What does that say about the music industry as a whole?
Yeah.
Are we, like, as listeners, being manipulated without even knowing it?
It's a valid question and kind of unsettling when you think about it. If all this stuff about charts and algorithms being rigged is true, then what does popular even mean anymore?
Right. It's like, are we really choosing what we like?
Exactly. It blurs the lines between what's genuine and what's just manufactured hype.
Totally. And for artists, especially new artists who don't have the support of a big label, that's got to be discouraging.
Yeah, for sure. They're already facing an uphill battle, and if labels are playing these games, it makes it almost impossible to break through based on talent alone.
It's like the system is working against them.